Hey there, it's Bobi, aka Paginator, and I'm here today with my Goodreads year in review. So, full disclosure, as I'm filming this, it is December 18th, so I still have almost 2 weeks until 2021 is over. However, Goodreads sent me this year in review stats, and I needed another video to film, and it's going to work best for me if I film it today, just due to holidays and travel and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to just dive right in and see how I did in the year 2021. Okay, so Goodreads, if you remember, you probably also received some kind of information about your year in review and so on. I am going to be going through my personal information to give you some stats. And again, this is as of December 18th. So here we go. I so far have read 64,622 pages, and that is 191 books. The past couple years, I've set my Goodreads goal at 150 books and have ended up passing it. And I feel like it's time to up my goal. Maybe my goal should be like 200 because 150 apparently isn't enough. Scrolling right along, the shortest book I read this year was 96 pages, and it was Space Invaders by Nona Fernandez. It was a book that I read for a college class, and to tell you how involved or engaged I was in remembering it, I don't remember much about it at all, except for that it had some parts that were in Spanish. The longest book I read this year was 870 pages, and it was Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I reread that series every year, at least one time, so no surprise it's going to show up on my yearly stats in the long books quite often. The average book length that I read in 2021 was 338 pages. And then Goodreads also does this thing where it sends you the most popular and least popular books according to how many people have shelved them. So the most popular book that I read was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone, and 10,193,258 people have also shelved that book. The least popular is Oz the Complete Collection, which is a Marvel kind of illustrated take on the Wizard of Oz series, and 146 people also shelved that one. My average rating for 2021 was a 4.3, so either I need to be a more critical reader or I just read some really, really fantastic books. I'm going to go with option B on that one. The highest rated on Goodreads is Frostheart number 3, Rise of the World Eater. It has a 4.71 average. That is amazing, and it deserves every single point of that. My first review I wrote during the year was on William Faulkner's The Sound of the Fury, which I had to read for a college class. If you want to read more like high literature, canon kind of stuff, I would not suggest this book because it's very, 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 very racist and misogynist. So if I hadn't had to read it for my college class, I probably wouldn't have made it all the way through. It is what it is. In the Goodreads email, there is also a section that just scrolls through my books and shows the covers. I will insert a little screen recording of a bit of that. Alright, so the screen recording you saw was just a portion of that. You could see near the end it said show more books, so I could go through and show all of the books if I wanted to for my own sake, and like real reminiscing and going, oh, I remember that one, aw, so fun. My last review of the year was actually one that I read from NetGalley. They sent me an e-arc of the book Murder Book, a graphic memoir of a true crime obsession by Hilary Fitzgerald Campbell. It is a graphic novel memoir about a girl who is obsessed with true crime shows. I can strongly identify with her because I also listen to a lot of true crime podcasts and watch Dateline, 2020, all of those, 48 Hours, and so on. Yeah. And again, I read 191 out of 150 books, so It says, congratulations, you're really good at reading and probably a lot of other things too. I don't know about the other things part, but I read 127% of my goal. So there you go. And of course, I'm going to be able to add a few more books to this, so maybe I'll make it to 200 by the end of December. We shall just see. I'm having a pretty good reading December. I did go to a book training recently and learned about all kinds of new books for middle grade and YA. And so I kind of took a little detour from my official TBR for the month. And some of those official TBR books might not come back around before this month is over because I'm having so much fun with the new books that I learned about. But anyway, it's kind of fun to look through my little Goodreads book year in books review. And I may or may not do another video where I talk about my top 21 books of 2021. We'll just kind of see what time I have with Christmas break and travel and all that stuff. So that's going to be it for today. Let me know how you're doing on your reading this year. And remember that just because I read 191 books doesn't mean that whatever you read isn't valid. Maybe you read more than me, maybe you read less. Whatever everybody reads is fine because they're reading. And we all know that the more we read, the more our brain develops, the more vocabulary we learn, the better learners we become. And we don't have to be kids in school to be learners. We can be learners our whole lives. So yeah, it's time for me to stop rambling and get on with my day. So you guys have a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.